It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. And he is Mark HIlliard from the Indiana County Chamber of Commerce. And our conversation this morning brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Personal Injury Law Firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Good morning to you.
It's the start of high school football.
How about that?
That's exciting.
Well, it is for a lot of folks,
Yeah.
and for a lot of business folks too. This is it's a boon time, not just because of football, but for the fact that IUP comes back into session, and you get into a whole new cycle for retail businesses. And retail is a very important part of Indiana County's economy, and therefore,
Absolutely.
for the Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely. We were driving through on Philadelphia Street yesterday, and it was just encouraging to see so many people on the streets, and it was because a lot of the students are coming back now. I think the Honors College, some of them come back early, but we just saw so many students and families walking along Philadelphia Street and supporting some of the businesses and restaurants, and yeah, that is great. And I think this kicks off kind of what is a busier season for a lot of retailers in the area because of the students, because of high school football as we get closer to the holidays. So it's an exciting time too. So
Yeah.
fair season, it's one of my favorite times of the year. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, the first time IUP students, they all hit campus this past weekend, so a good chance to make a good first impression, which is really important for anybody in retail and for the town overall and the entire community, the county.
Yeah, one of our goals at the Chamber and now working with Downtown Indiana as well, we're really working to try to find some opportunities to have the students become more engaged with the community and vice versa, have the business community become more engaged with things the university is doing. So, we're continuing to work on ideas and initiatives and different ways that we can get the students involved. And I've said for a while, number one, we'd love the students to come and support the businesses and potentially be employees for those businesses. But I also think by getting them engaged, there's a chance that maybe we can keep a little bit of a higher percentage of them around here if they feel as if there's some commitment to the community because of things that they've done throughout their college life. So if we can get them around here a little bit more, let them see what the opportunities are and how wonderful Indiana County is, let's hope we can keep a higher percentage of them here once they graduate.
Sure, absolutely. All right. Hey, Eggs and Issues comes
Yes.
up this week, doesn't it?
It's on August 31st, so a week from Thursday. But that's with our state legislators, and it's going to be over at the Indiana Country Club, and it will be registration at 8 o'clock, and I think the event kicks off at 9. So there's breakfast to be served. And it's a great opportunity. It's one of the things we talked about actually last week with some of our board members, how, we're so lucky here in Indiana County to have such great representation at the state level. Actually, at almost every level, I think we have wonderful representation for our elected officials. But Senator Pittman, Representative Struzzi are always willing to meet with us and interact with their constituents. And I think this gives a kind of a unique opportunity to be able to engage with them directly and ask them pretty much any question. I mean, I've not heard them turn away too many questions over the years, and I don't imagine this time will be any different. But if you have any questions or thoughts or concerns, and I know there's a lot of issues that are impacting Indiana County right now, we would love for you to be at Eggs and Issues, and we'll serve you breakfast while you're there, and you'll get to engage with the state legislators, have some coffee and breakfast, and hopefully have a great experience.
So tickets are still available?
They will be available until, I believe, Thursday. So we have until about a week away, and then we have to cut off our ticket sales. So, the country club can hold quite a few people, so we hope that everybody, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, please do so. But after Thursday, we're going to have to cut that off for them.
Yeah. The fall of the year is not an especially busy time in the business community for let's put it this way. The Chamber of Commerce seems to be able to take a step back in the fall of the year and look around at things a little bit more, and it's not so labor intensive with events coming up. So you have an opportunity here, don't you?
Yeah, we the spring was so busy for us because of so many events. We had our Excellence in Education, our golf outing, our Hall of Fame, all within 2 months of each other. So it was quite hectic. And then we get a little bit of a break for a couple of months as we start to look towards the fall. And there's a lot of things, like we have the Eggs and Issues coming up, and we're starting to plan and look at a possible candidates night with some of the races in Indiana County this year. But we're really looking ahead towards our annual meeting and starting the planning process now for that, and other things in terms of nominations for board members. So I'll get a couple of quick plugs in here before I talk about another initiative that we're looking at. But if you know somebody who's been interested in joining our board of directors, and I think we have an amazing board of directors, please let them know. Now's the time to submit a nomination form, and we're going to start to go through those over the next couple months. And likewise with our Hall of Fame. So if you think of somebody that is deserving of our Business Hall of Fame, living or deceased, we would love for you to nominate them and submit that nomination form to us. Because now is the time we start to look at those and start planning to announce those at our annual meeting in December. But one of the new initiatives that we're looking at is sometime this fall, we are looking to hold a business roundtable. And one of the things that we'd like to do is find out what issues truly matter to our business community. We used to develop a sheet for the chamber that are issues that matter to the chamber, and those were based off of issues that mattered to the community and mattered to the businesses in particular. But really what we want to find out is, what struggles are these businesses having right now? What challenges do they anticipate having 5 years from now? What successes are they having now? And this is something that we would like to host, but we want to get a lot of the other partners and organizations throughout the community, including our elected officials, at the table as well, to basically just be able to sit back and listen to the businesses to find out what it is that they need help with. And then from the chamber's standpoint, and again from the rest of the organizations that we'll have at the table there, it gives us an opportunity to start to look at, okay, what's our next action plan to help these businesses? We can't just assume that workforce is the major issue impacting them. I would imagine it's probably in the top 5 right now, if not higher, but we can't assume that that's what it is. We want to hear it directly from them and find out whether you're a small business, a large business, what is it that you need help with? And that way it gives us some opportunities to look at what we can do and how we can start establishing a game plan to assist these businesses and really become a resource for businesses. And I should say, when we do have this, Todd, it's going to be open to all businesses. It's not just chamber members. So any business that wants to attend, we want them at the table, because it's not a sales pitch. The chamber is not going to be doing any talking or anything. We are there to listen.
Yeah. Wanted to ask you this before we let you get away today. There's a report out, and we cited it in our news today, about the transition from carbon jobs, which are called in the report dirty jobs, to green jobs using renewables, and how difficult that is becoming for places such as ours, regions such as ours, where there aren't as many green jobs available, and how difficult that transition is being, and how the trend is that things are going to get better, but maybe not around here. Those jobs are just not available here, and people are basically going dirty job to dirty job rather than dirty to green.
I don't have enough time to really get into this the way that I'd like to.
You can come back. I have no guest at 9:45 this morning.
I think that things are trending that way. It's different right now because I think of the jobs that we just lost at the generating station in Homer City, and the salaries and what those individuals were making. And right now the technology just isn't there, number one, for a lot of these greener jobs to be able to come in and provide the same amount of energy at the same level that we had with that power plant. But the jobs, quite honestly, aren't paying the same family-sustaining wages at the same time. So I think that's changing, and certainly I think a lot of people would love to have more of green jobs and those types of things here around the area, especially with the loss of the jobs at the power plant. I think that things are moving in that direction with a lot of different industries. Now, I will say that I think some of the things that are changing too, with AI and robotics, we're starting to see a movement in that direction, and businesses starting to develop that, even agriculture and things like that. We're starting to see a new direction moving there. That's not necessarily answering your question, but I think with things going on at IUP, that is a direction that we could see some new jobs crop up in the area in a different kind of industry. But truthfully, with the green versus the dirty, and what if we're talking about energy, that's different. If we're talking about the jobs themselves, I think that this area, we don't quite have that transition yet. I think that they're not necessarily replacing, one thing with a very similar situation. So we're getting there. Think we'd like to see more of that, but I do think that we're going to start seeing new industries cropping up in this area soon, and some of those different kinds of jobs that may replace some of those quote-unquote dirty jobs. It's just a matter of whether they're replacing them with the same kind of wages and opportunities.
Yeah. And, of course, you realize how fragile the situation is with other generating stations around this part. And
correct.
if another one goes, then that exacerbates the problem.
Yep.
All right, he's Mark HIlliard, Chamber of Commerce, with a lot on his plate. Excellence in Education coming back this year?
It is. We're actually having a meeting right after this to start talking about it, but we're working on that and looking forward to going back to the schools. And eggs and issues on August 31st, so register now if you can.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Todd.
Are you ready to tackle